Now today we'll discuss the software process. Already in the last class we have seen the software process, what is the main purpose of this software process and who does this one. Not only software engineering but also the project managers, and why it is important. We have discussed that it's need to for stability, control, the total activities. It should be a balanced in the company, balanced when you're developing a software or a product. What is the what product here with respect to the view of the software engineering? The output of the software process is programs, documents, and data, right? So we have also seen as last class definition of a process, a collection of activities, actions, tasks, all together called as a process. For what purpose you are going to using this? To just complete a work product, or creating a work product, or just to perform how the work product has to create it. And we also see the activity means what is the main objective and outcome. The outcome of this activity is the size, complexity, degree of the rigor. And also we have seen the action collection, which is the outcome is a measure work product. The task we are focused is the output of this one is a tangible outcome. Tangible in the sense which can be visible, the outcome. So we also seen the number of the framework activities and umbrella activity, how it helps. We have discussed a little more about the software process framework. So initially we have a task set. In each task set, we have a work task, work product, quality assurance points, project milestone. Work tasks, work products already have known, and quality assurance points means at each level for each task, for each the thing we are going to be using this, right? So project milestone talks about the timeline. Okay, so a set of tasks comes under an action. Set of actions comes under a framework activity. Set of framework activities comes under umbrella activities. Set of umbrella activities comes under process framework. Process set of process framework comes under software process. Right. So coming to the here we stopped yesterday. Now coming to the generic process activities. So sometimes in the examination they will ask directly the software process, or they can be asked that explain in detail about generic process activity. At the time, just draw the previous figure, the software process framework, and talk about all the 5 phases. The first phase is the communication. The first phase, communication. In this communication, what will we do is the project manager or the software engineers will interact with the stakeholders. So stakeholders is nothing but already we discussed yesterday. In stakeholders maybe an user, or maybe the customer, or maybe the other party who deals with the project, or maybe a member in your team, or maybe a project leader talks with the stakeholders, objectives for the project to gather for what purpose we are communicating with the stakeholder, for gathering the requirements. Requirements means how your product look like, how many, if you are developing a web page, how the web page look like, how many menus are required, how the header will look like, how the scrolling goes on, how many pages are there, each page, how many links required. When you are clicking any one link one, what is the navigation has to done over there, how the fastness, whether the site is required .com or .ac.in or .in .edu, different domains, all such type of things we are going to be discuss over. Okay. All such type of things, gather the requirement. Now this helps to define the software features. Okay. The second one is planning. The second activity, generic activity, is planning. Now planning defines, this is the output of the communication is, it defines the software features and functions. It defines means it defines what are the features and functions is required. They will be collected from the stakeholders. The second phase, planning, that defines the work by describing the technical tasks. Technical tasks in the sense how each task will be completed, how much time it requires, who will develop that each task, and the risks that are likely to be, and what are the resources are required to complete that one, and what is the outcome of each task, the work products to be produced. and schedule. So these are the 5 things they are need to plan in the second phase. The 5 things are, it is going to describing the technical tasks to be conducted, the first one. Second, risks that are going to be involved in there. Now, what are the different resources we require, like the system, manpower, or any other sort of stuff is required to complete that task. The fourth one, work products. The fifth one, work schedule. Hope you are not noting the things, just not simply by listening, right? So I'm not chit-chatting with you, I'm just discussing with you. And if you are noting that, you can get some habit of writing something, or else it's a afternoon time, will be go in a longer sleep. Okay, so please try to write down whatever you are just listening. So in the second phase, planning the work by describing. The first thing is technical tasks to be conducted, the risk, resources, work products, and work schedule. So these are the things need to be planned in the second activity. Second activity, or also be called the phase. The third one, modeling. So once the requirements you are collected, once the planning has done, the third phase is sketch. Means drawing that total the tasks, how it would works, how the connectivity between one task to another task, what is the input we are giving for each task, the output of each task goes to input for another task, how the things will be done in a big picture. Just draw, sketch out in the sense, draw in a graphical representation, right? The fourth one, construction. So whatever you have done in the modeling for the modules, so generate the code. The code generation has to be done, as well as testing. These two phases, generating of the code as well as testing that code, whether it is work properly, for in all the test cases, it will work properly or not, we have to be check over there. So the last phase is deployment. So in this deployment, the fifth phase, deployment, we are going to deliver to the customer and see the feedback of that, who evaluates the delivered product and provides the feedback based on the evaluation. The last phase, deployment phase, will do what we are doing in the deployment phase is we are delivering that software or product to the customer, and after evaluating by the customer that product, will get some sort of feedback based on the evaluation. So last phase talks about the delivery as well as feedback. Fourth phase talks about the code generation and testing. Third phase talks about the sketch or drawings. Second phase talks about the technical thing, schedule, risk, resources, work products. The first phase talks about the requirements which are required for that. Okay. So these are the 5 different generic activities. I repeat, communication is the first phase or first activity. Second one, planning. Third one, modeling. Fourth one, construction. Fifth one, deployment. Is that clear? These are the 5 different phases which we required in the generic of process activities. Now coming to that, what are the generic view? In this process, we have different umbrella activities. As I said, these are the different umbrella activities we require. Now, what are the activities we need to perform in that umbrella? So if you see the figure, last figure, what we had discussed, this is the process, generic process things is required. Now umbrella activities, we require the set of umbrella activities. What are the different activities we are performing under this umbrella? Because if you observe carefully, when you see the umbrella, it is rounded with the cloth, different cloth, and it will be have connecting all the steel connectivities one to another. So this is called as a similar way. All these are the activities which are required to cover, to complete the entire product. The first umbrella activity is software project tracking and control. The second one is FTR, formal technical reviews. The third one, SQA, software quality assurance. The fourth one, SCM, software configuration management. Hope you are not noting this. Fifth one, document preparation and production. Sixth one, reusability management. Seventh one, measurement. Eighth one, risk management. So these are the 8 different activities we are going to performing under umbrella activities. So these are the 8 different connectivities which can connect to produce a work product, to produce a software. The first one is software project tracking and control. So always we need to be tracked how much of work it is completing. like we are going to using different process models to track this one. In next chapter of this unit, we'll talk about the different process models like waterfall, agile, scrum, all this of type of models we'll discuss there. Always we need to be track the things and we need to be control the software. Until unless we can't track it, as a project leader, as a project manager, it is not to be done it. That's why every day when the day starts, they have conducted a meeting. That type of meetings are called as FTR, formal technical review meetings. In that meeting, what's the things has to do in this day? What's the things has already done yesterday? Like this, they review every time. The tracking has to go in. In FTR, they are conducting every thing. We'll discuss more about FTRs. Here, the recorder will be there who records all the issues, how much of work is completed, any issues or came when the models are integrating, or any sort of resources is required. All such type of recordings can be done by the recorder, who will take care of the issues will be recorded, and they maintain a minutes for that issues, for that reviews, and in the minutes they will be in the next meeting, in the next review they will have give the resolutions for that minutes. The third one, a measurement is required. Who a quality manager will be measures how the quality has going on, the software quality, SQA has going on. And every time we require the configuration. Without configuring the things, we can't connect it, because for any laptop also we need to be configured. Until unless we can't configure it, because what's the configuration of your laptop? Configuration in the sense what? The minimum requirement to complete a particular task. We have to configure that. This is the RAM is required, this much of hard disk is required, this much of resources is required. This is the minimum things is required to run that product, to run that software. And every time I already I discussed you that documentation is very important in developing of software. If you see for any type of product you purchase, they will give at least a slip, at least a small book or small 3 or 4 pages of material documentation, where it talks about how need to use that product, what are the benefits of it, how to open it, how to connect that one. All such type of things will be done. So documentation is very important. And see such a way that that software or product should be a reusable manner. And every time we required some metrics to measure how much of cost, how much of space, how much of time it is going to be taking care. Space, cost, time, it is taking care in the measurement activity. The last one, the risk management. Once we deliver this product to the customer, we have to see such a way that any risk is there towards to the, because the software product is going to the society, any risk is there or not, we have to take care such type of things. Okay. These are the 8 different Hammerell activities: software project tracking and control, formal technical reviews, software quality assurance, software configuration management, document preparation and production, reusability management, measurement, risk management. Okay. And coming to the process flow, just now we had discussed about the process, nothing but a collection of actions, activities, and the tasks. Now the flow talks about, describes how the framework activities and the actions and tasks that are occur within each framework activity that are going to be organized with respect to sequence and time. So if you take the flow of activities, x-axis and y-axis, if you take time and x-axis is activities A, this how as the time goes on, the sequence of activities to perform, how the activities are going on. Like this, we are going to define the framework activities, tasks, actions, total. This is the definition of process. Here, one word is added, flow. When we call as a flow, when you are organized with respect to sequence and time. Sequence means with respect to the time, automatically that activity has to be triggered. So with respect to the activity, this time, a sequence of activities will be done with respect to time. Then if you are done these activities with respect to the time, then it is called as process flow. So just it describes how the framework activities and the actions and tasks that occur within each framework activity are organized with respect to sequence and time. Now draw the figures. I'll just give a 5 minutes of time. Just draw this figure. We'll close the class. Draw the figure. Here different types of first note down different types of process flows. The first one, linear process flow. Second one, iterative process flow. Third one, evolutionary process flow. Fourth one, parallel process flow. Draw the figures. Just list out 1, 2, 3, 4. Process flows are 4 types: linear, iterative, evolutionary, parallel. Just note down. We'll give 5 minutes time. In 5 to 7 minutes, we'll complete the class. While you are drawing, please remember what the box indicates. These are the sequence of activities. As I said you that just now we have seen process activities: communication, planning, modeling, construction, and deployment. The same. If you are not maintaining the separate notes, please try to maintain it. So please note down some points and draw the figures whenever I am saying to you. If you are simply listening, definitely you will be the losers. Don't think that at the time of exam directly we'll read it, we'll get back the things. Don't be smart. I will be smarter than you. Who is Prithvi? Prithvi, are you there?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, now nothing. Purvika K. Purvika. Can you please rename with your roll number. What's your roll number, Purvika?
49.
Please rename it. Mute yourself. Mute yourself, please. 8, 10, 17, 40, 47. Right, both are the figures are look same. If you see the figures, it is a linear. The name itself is a linear, one after the other. See, one after the other linearly. A sequence of linear means what? Normally, the meaning of linear means sequence of that, right? Now, iterative means what? Once communication has done, again after completion of planning, go back. The iteration is there. In the modeling, there is another iteration. After construction, again, if any change is there, it goes back to the communication, it will be due. So this type of things is called as iterative process now. Iterative means it will be repeated with the same activity, same phase, or once those two activities are completed, if any changes are done, again come back, go back, and it will be do some more these changes. Evaluationary is nothing but is totally look like as an eclipse. It's a rounded process. See, once it started with communication, see the arrow marks also. You need to mention the arrow marks also. Don't blindly draw the figure. Drawing the figure is not simply making the symbols, rectangle symbol, draw it. The flow. Once the communication has completed, goes to planning, goes to modeling, goes to construction, goes to deployment. Once it is done, one increment has to be done. One release, one increment. First version is release. First version is release to the increment release. Again for the second increment, version 2 or version 1.1, the second increment or one module is completed for the second module. That each is called as increment. Each increment is called as one output of a iteration, one entire output of one iteration of entire activities. Entire activity iteration means one life cycle. This is, we can say this is software engineering life cycle. These are the phases are available. Okay. So for one iteration means completed from communication to deployment, then one increment will come. And when you see the parallel, hope if you have completed this, and if you see the parallel, You see the parallel over here. Right. You see the parallel process flow. Once at one stage, communication planning and modeling both are doing in a parallel. See, these are going to be doing in a parallel. The modeling construction both are doing in a parallel. Parallel in the sense at a time. In this line, after communication planning is doing at one, and parallelly modeling is going on. Like communication modeling can do at a time, or communication planning modeling can do at a time. Modeling construction we can do this is at a time. Parallelly, this modeling is going on. Parallelly, the construction is going on with respect to that. Like this also, the possibility is there in the process flow. So this is with respect to time, the total activities or phases as doing. Destroy. Roll number 18, can you please unmute yourself? Roll number 18. Okay. Right. Once you please complete it. Number 25 as well. Please unmute yourself. Right. So hope you have completed. Just as a parallel, we can draw it. Right. Fine. Now, see one just an example of how does a framework activity changes. How does a framework activity changes, or as the nature of the project changes. Now, for a particular, if you see the figure in the examination, you please just represent this small example. This is one small task set. Task set already we discussed. Task set defines the actual work to be done, and just for to accomplish the objective of a software engineering action. Right. Now, in the task set, once the requirement has gathered, this is for a small task set. This is for a small, relatively simple project. What's the task set we have to do is, first we make a list of stakeholders for the project. Who are the stakeholders? Like the customer, user, bank manager, project manager, all. We have to list out all the list of stakeholders over there. The second, we are going to be invite all the stakeholders to a formal meeting. That is just for an informal meeting. Just for informal meeting, casual meeting, we are calling for that. Ask each stakeholder to make a list of features and functions. Already I discussed that one. The output of the requirement, the first phase in the stakeholders requirement analysis, or we can say communication, is list of features and functions. The fourth one is discuss the requirements and build a final list. What are the requirements they required, and build a final list. These are the list of requirements is required, and prioritize the requirements, which has to complete first, which has to complete next, and note the area of uncertainty where any unbalance or any not possibility things are there. These are the things has to be noted. So for a small project, these are the some 6 different task sets we need to prepare. The first is make a list of stakeholders for the project. Can you please note down? So for a small, relatively simple project, the task sets are First one, make a list of stakeholders for the project. We have to list the stakeholders. Second, invite all the stakeholders for an informal meeting. Invite all stakeholders to an informal meeting. The third one, ask each stakeholder to make a list of features and functions required. Ask each stakeholder to make a list of features and functions required. The fourth one, discuss the requirements and build the final list. So once the requirement has to finalize, list that one. Discuss requirements and build a final list. Fifth one, prioritize requirements. And sixth one, note uncertainty of areas of uncertainty. Where the chances are there, please need to note on that also. Okay. Right. Here. So make a list of stakeholders for the project. Invite all the stakeholders to an informal meeting. Ask each stakeholder to make a list of features and functions required. Discuss requirements and build a list, final list. Fifth one, prioritize the requirements. The last, the note, make a note that areas of uncertainty. In similar fashion, if you see for a larger project also, please need to be conduct. We had to schedule a series of meetings. There is a one difference, and we had to conduct frequently the meetings, and we had to produce a informal user scenarios. How it will be? We had to refine that scenarios and get back the feedback, and make such a that some little bit of more steps. There we are discussing about 6 steps. Here we are again 6 more steps. Like main steps we are focusing is schedule a series of the different meetings, conduct that meetings, produce the informal user scenarios, and if any refinement is there for the refinement of user scenarios, like your project look like this one, any changes is required, product is comes like this, the design view like this, the front view of your product will like this. Like this we can show in the form of a user scenarios with the help of use cases, and we can refine that user scenarios as well. Okay, the rest of the things is common compared with that and to this. So different things we are going to noting over, but in the examination you please mention at least for a small project, you mention the list of task sets which were required in that. That is more than enough. Okay. So here we'll stop the thing, and what we have discussed here is, in this software process we have discussed about why is required the software process, what actually it is, who does it, why it is important, what is our product, the definition of process, including the sub definitions of activity, action, task, a process framework in SWOT with the help of a graphical representation diagram, and the process activities such as communication, planning, modeling, construction, deployment, as well as 8 different umbrella activities, and also the process flows and types of process flows such as linear process flow, iterative process flow, evaluation process flow, parallel process flow. And also we have seen one small example what actually a task set for a small project, what the minimum task sets is required for this, also for a large project as well.